Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F124 Driver Career Mode with Williams. This is episode number 9 for the British Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode of Austria, then I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, because, spoiler, it was a good podium finish after leading the Grand Prix at one point. Now, full focus is back to R&D. Major rear downforce is probably the next step. Unfortunately, I don't have enough R&D points to purchase anything, so I will bank those and save those for the Belgian Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome back, and as you can see, the paddock is a hive of activity behind us. More action though going on behind closed doors, because Anthony Davidson, we are in the middle of silly season. There is speculation everywhere as to where the drivers will move around the grid. Tell me from a driver's perspective, just how distracting is this?
It is a distraction, and it has been up until this point in the season, especially when you're outside of the car. But once that helmet goes on and the visor's down, it's back to business as usual, and that's when you see it all melt away. You're in the car doing what you do best. But yeah, certainly out of it, you sometimes see it boil over. Drivers have a few strong words to say to each other after some moments on track, because it is such a stressful environment.
A huge mind game for all of the drivers. We're having secretive meetings, clandestine chats. What is exactly being said though? Give us a level of insight.
So if you're not performing, obviously, we're in a very brutal world in Formula One where the driver's data is there on show for inside your team for all to see, and you're constantly being compared against your teammate. There's nowhere to hide. And if you're not performing, then your team boss might be looking elsewhere and might not be telling you the full story. So sometimes you seek news from elsewhere in the paddock, even from the media. They might be telling you what's really going on with inside your team, and that's very uncomfortable. And then on the flip side, if you're having a great season, you might be the one having secretive talks with other teams that are performing better than your own team.
Okay, well, we're nearly out of time, so I'm going to send you to the commentary box, and we're going to get ready for today's Grand Prix.
Bit of a cutscene dribble there, as interestingly, the race will be dry, but qualifying is showing as light rain. Typical British summer weather these days. Yes, I'm not going to lie. We actually do need some rain at the moment, but yes. It's going to be interesting to see what rain actually turns up. Now, R&D wise, we have caught up to, obviously the colours have been changed. That is now AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, whatever you want to call them, as well. There's an upgrade for Red Bull, but they are now harder to see as well on the R&D chart. There's an upgrade for Aston Martin as well. No one else bringing upgrades.
Time airfield fully owned by cars in this era. One of the finest ribbons of racetrack anywhere on earth. It's high speed, it's dramatic, it's Silverstone.
Right, we've lost telemetry. In fact, we've lost pretty much all sensor information. It's being looked into now, so just bear with us for a few minutes if you can, please.
So after that inconvenient delay, you can see that we're all on soft tyres in this qualifying, and I am sliding all over the place, which is, the sign that inters are needed. And you can see here that I'm actually going for inters, the only person on track that is on inters, because I think it's more stable through the corners. As well, and look at that already, just through the first couple of corners, 2/10 up. Previous best time is 19. Unfortunately, the AI are perfect, so when they see a soft tyre, it is frustrating that they've still not sorted this out, despite claiming that they have. They should be on intermediates, or at least making mistakes, sliding about like I'm doing. I think, the fact of the matter is we're down in 19th. That's not really a true reflection of where I think I'd be should it be a dry qualifying session. And you can see there now, look at the time gain. This is on the intermediates. Obviously there's a tyre deficit from intermediate to soft tyres, and that's where the AI are all on intermediate tyres. 8 tenths up now on previous best time. I was sliding about all over the place with Maggots and Beckett's on the soft tyres, and it's a lot more stable on the intermediates. Losing time on the exit Maggots and Beckett's there though, so maybe it's not fully intermediates. You do see that sometimes on some tracks, but whether or not, obviously that's factored into the game, and actually lost time towards the end of the Hanger straight as well, not the A. Yeah, it's whatever straight that is, excuse me, as we come through to the final corners, but then gaining time now on the previous best time. So I lost a bit of time on the straight, I think, and out of Maggots and Becks, but gained pretty much most of that back through the final couple of corners. And it's actually good enough, P16, as well. You can see there that the weather on the halo doesn't really reflect what it actually is. Like if you go off board, it shows that, and actually only half a second slower than Albon on intermediate. So that I think that's very good, considering the fact we qualified on inters. The Haas and the Haas's and the Sauers are slower, but then their cars are woeful as well. So yeah, well, there's a bit of work to do from 16th place on the grid. It's time for the race, and it's time for my home race. It's time for the British Grand Prix from Silverstone.
We meet again at Silverstone for one of the great Formula One races of the entire calendar. With a barely believable capacity crowd creating a phenomenal atmosphere, it is time for a race that puts a smile on your face. It is time for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Sainz, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Russell, Ocon, Hamilton, Perez, Albon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Phoenix, Hülkenberg, Joe, Bottas, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Mate, that podium last time out was great. I know you got a trophy, but hey, I got a little bonus. So let's do more of that, please, this weekend.
I'll be having that bonus, thank you, Mark. Race strategy will be a one-stop time way around here on the 35% race isn't actually too bad, so we should be able to do medium soft, slightly out of position. Would go soft medium for a higher up, but medium soft should work a treat for me. So 5 lights then for the British Grand Prix, my home race, and away we go. And it's a good start, slightly better than Tsunoda as well, and I think we're going to get Tsunoda into turn 1. Now we've got to try and sit behind this upper run. Obviously no bump there like it is, because of course this has been rescanned and died on the inside. Almost had a look at the two Mercedes coming back are Albon, and I think that's one of the Alpines. It is one of the Alpines as well, but now stuck on the outside. Can I keep the position? Close the door on Albon, and up to P13, and that was crucial to get in front of a good start, as well as the two Ferraris and the two McLarens are already squabbling away, which is allowing Max Verstappen once again to run away like he normally does in these career mode episodes. Next up is George Russell, who, unlike in real life, the Mercedes in this career mode is a woeful car, and it's an easy move on my compatriot to relegate him to bottom Brit as well. Now, for something interesting though, Daniel Ricciardo did have a good qualifying, didn't mention that. He's behind the two Astons, and that is Leclerc. He has caught up to Verstappen, so Verstappen, unlike what he usually does, he hasn't cleared up the top 5 out of DRS, so they're going to be swapping positions, as are the two Aston Martins, who are ahead of the train that I'm trying to catch up to as well, and they are squabbling. Oh, that's a lock up for Alonso there, as well. And now the leaders are squabbling as well. Verstappen versus Leclerc. Verstappen has the inside line, swoops in front and takes the lead back from Charles Leclerc as well. Meanwhile, a long way behind in the basement battle, Nico Hülkenberg's Ferrari has decided it doesn't want to take part anymore and he's out of the race with an engine failure. So yeah, we're down to 19 runners. I have caught up now to that Aston Martin led battle on lap 8. So yeah, despite the fact we've got fuel load objectives, which is rubbish, but there we go. Oh! Something's happened to the two Aston Martins. I think, you know, they're racing each other earlier. They've been racing each other pretty much in the opening 8 laps. This is what happened. And they've made contact on the pit lane entry. I wonder if one of them was coming into the pits as well. So Stroll's on the inside. I don't think Stroll is coming into the pits, and I think Alonso is. So they're going side by side, and Alonso just moves over. Obviously, Stroll wants to carry on, and obviously they just collide as well. I mean, yeah, Alonso should have backed out potentially, but let me know who you think's at fault in the comments below. Aston Martin would disappointed with that. So when Alonso's out the race, Stroll has continued on without a front wing. He's fallen to the back of the train, as well as Russell now is going past with DRS on that number 9. Is it time for Russell to come in? No, he's going to carry on. I'd have thought about a little bit of dive bomb there, nothing doing there. So yeah, going to move to lap 10 as well, where a few other people are all in, which is good because we've gone as long as Russell on the mediums as well. We'll now have fresher softs to be able to attack at the end of this race. I know he'll have fresher mediums, but the softs I think are better, although the tyre offset is a slight hell in the pits. It's not a pit stop error, because we've seen far too many of those as well. It's a slight hell in the pits for Ricard. I think that's Perez actually, who's lost out to Hamilton there. So Perez, just like in real life, is starting to show his poor form as well. In this battle though, then, this is for P6 because the two Aston Martins have taken themselves out of P6. So Ocon is P7, Albon P8, Hamilton has lost a few positions. He's down behind P9. So Albon and Ocon are the real winners out of that battle as well. Ocon is going for Ricciardo and overtakes him with DRS, but of course we know how slow the Alpine Renault engine is in game and in real life. So now, of course, I'm on here. Can we get to the head of this train? If we could get P6, that'd be a fantastic result. From the fact I started P16. Russell is an EV move, similar to what we did earlier on him. Next up will be Sergio Perez. Dive bomb down the inside, absolutely sending it on Sergio Perez and up into the points. Exactly the type of move that I need to get on with it, but I want to finish in P6. Absolutely just sent it there, you know, from miles back. That is what you call a dive bomb, Max Verstappen. Not so much of a dive bomb on my teammate at that corner, on my teammate Alex Albon. However, Hamilton's been pushed out by Ocon. I'm going to move to what will be the inside for turn 1. Using what battery I've got left down the inside of turn 1, an unorthodox place to make a move, but I've made the move work. To say I wouldn't be making this move normally, but Hamilton was forced out by Ocon there, as well as Ricciardo's back at the head of the train, and as well, actual fact, Albon followed me through on there. You know, Hamilton lost his composure there as well. Next up on lap 16 is Esteban Ocon, and just to show you, you know, I've not really made any overtakes down this DRS straight, but I'm going to do that on Ocon with a good slide for good measure as well. Next up will be Daniel Ricciardo. This is the last man in the train, P6, but decided not to make the overtake into that corner, and instead I'm going to do it under braking into the penultimate corner. Ricciardo tries to shut the door, but it's actually come back at me. It's actually going to be round the outside of the final corner with a bit of DRS assistance and up into P6, which I think is a fantastic result as well. Round the outside, Ricciardo, as soon as I had that outside at the better traction, Ricciardo has to fall behind as well. Up at the front though, Verstappen, he's not had the dominant display that we know him for, that he can do in real life and in the game as well. The two Ferraris and Piastri, Norris is much to Verstappen's delight, has fallen back though, but on the last lap Leclerc's going to have DRS, so is Carlos Sainz. Verstappen's just gone from P1 to P3 in the space of one straight, and that is the last lap, that's the last corner as well. Leclerc will go on to win this Grand Prix. However, it's not over. I've not been able to escape Daniel Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's come back with DRS. They're all coming back. Albon and Ocon both come back. There's three wide in that corner. A bit of tie-ban with Albon. Sorry, not Albon, Ocon. Hamilton and Ocon are going to carry on fighting. Can I get past Daniel Ricciardo? No, not through these final few corners, and P6 is lost. That is thoroughly disappointing as well, and in the end I have to finish P7. That's frustrating. I thought I had P6 wrapped up in the end. It's still a very good result in P7, don't get me wrong, but I was P6, better than the rest. That was where I wanted to be today. I felt we could have got that today, and sadly it's not to be. Good result for Albon though, he finished in P8. More points for Alpine, he finished P9, and Hamilton finished P10. Perez and Russell failing to finish, and very disappointing for them. Tsunoda had a quiet one. Acid Gasly, they finished 13th, 14th as well. So yes, Drivers' Championship then. Albon moves up to Ricciardo move up positions. Gasly doesn't score, so he remains P11. I'm sort of in that position where I've actually closed on George Russell as well. Mercedes, they might need another performance update, because Aston Martin a little bit too high up, and they need to swap them with Mercedes potentially as well. Ferrari as well, who a comfortable win today. I don't think they're going to be managing that in real life this weekend. But yes, just going to the ratings, up on Racecraft, because I think that's still glitched. Awareness as well, focus going up as well. So I'm up another rating to 72 already. So I've already passed the objective of 70, I think it was, to get. So yeah, I don't know if they need to make this a little bit harder or not, as well, because I think we're going to be. I think the target now is just to get to 75 potentially by the end of the season. Potentially that is now possible now they fixed the pace stat as well. So you'll unlock a new perk on the material fabrication planner as well, which is basically, I think it's just getting them fabricating less chance of failure, I think, as well. But it's not the podium that at Austria, but then I didn't have the pace like I did in Austria. I thought P6 was on, Ricciardo getting his and AlphaTauri's first points of the season. It's a little bit annoying, but I've just got to work on it. Up at the front could tighten up. Leclerc is second race win of the season for him, ending a 2-run dominance from McLaren there, as well. Obviously, Verstappen hasn't won in 3 races now. He'll be looking to bounce back at the Belgian Grand Prix. That episode will be out next week as well, because because of course slight delay to this one. Apologies about that, but yes, the edits that I made to this, they just disappeared, so I couldn't do anything about that. So that's why this video is a day late. Apologies about that. But yes, that is where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, see plenty more F124 drive recruit mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.